There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers are giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
A lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask him my jamo. And he's no money. The more I get you. And you love me. The more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the biggie, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best in Liberia. Sktv, we are the best in Africa. Sktv, we are the best around the world, folks. What a way to go to say a pleasant good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you out there, channel listeners, our supporters, our well-wishers, and those of you who always respectfully disagree with us. That's the best way to go. That's the kind of society that we all want. That's the kind of society we all want to live in. You know, we got to disagree to agree. That's why some of us, when we come here, when we talk about Donald Trump, some of you get angry because the reason is just so simple. You know, Donald Trump in all is not perfect though, but he always, you know, following some of the disagreements, people having disagreement with him, and he's also reacting, you know, and that's the best way to go. That's it. One person can live on this earth, whether you like it or not. No. And you will not be able to have all of the knowledge. You alone know. It don't work that way. So that means you will get some, other people will get some people will not get some, you know. It's just that way. But again, folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Sktv. You know, this show here is the People Show. Welcome to the People Show. And the People Show where we have the opportunity to talk. And we give all of the time to our people to also to speak out. You know, sometimes people can be asking me, but why you guys take the kind of more, you know, the kind of more courage to be brave in this form manner to challenge government from the beginning up to now, especially the system. You know, for some of us, we're not afraid because we know that they're going to come. And that's why our forefathers, they reserve us. They know very well that one of these days, our children will come out and our children will speak to national issues that maybe other people think that they can easily talk about. So good evening. Good evening. Help us share the show. Those of you here, good evening. Help us share the show. The show will be more than interesting today. Today is Thursday, as usual. Steve Bode will join us here very, very soon. Better say Mosey will be here with us. Bizina Monk, as usual. Brother Aliu, And in the future, we're able to have some few panelists, at least like Mr. Dishiu, will join us, and Brother AB, and maybe Ben, the refugee man, will also follow us, or maybe join us also on the show this evening. So many things to talk about. The president gave, or in fact, called our lawmakers from their break, 10 days, appeal to them, remind you though, the 10 days are days that we pay for. We call them back because they go for a reset, and we call them back. It's in the Constitution. Those of you, maybe you don't know, but it's in the Constitution that anytime when there are crises, anytime when there are serious issues, the president should be able to call the lawmakers, the legislature, or the legislators to come and do the work of the people. So again, the president called the lawmakers, said, no, you come. We have some issues. We have some serious issues that we have to attend to. Number one had to do with the money business, money matter. I have surplus money here. Some of you, maybe you don't know some of the BB books or the English. The way our people can put it, sometimes it can make us confused. When they talk about supplementary, budget, some of you feel that, no, that means some kind of money somewhere. Yeah, the money just there, the money here, that money is there. So, no, you got to come. You got to come so you can see how best to use this money. Because this money is money. Sometimes when you see some of the men of God are preaching, oh God, yeah, especially when they know very well that they are, what to do, right? It's active, it's in time. That's why you can see them going, and going. You hear them preaching, talking. Good evening, it's interesting. Emmanuel, bro, thank you for joining us. Robert Fasulu Jacqueline, thank you, my good friend and brother. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Yeah, so the budget, the supplementary budget, the president called the legislators and said, no, you got to come so that we can put hands together and see how best to use the money. So the money, the president called the people for the money wahala, and also to print additional money. And but then on our other notice or surprise, we heard about one of the Yeke Koruba business also, surface, in fact, taking most of the days. Yeah, I think that was really, really, very, very troublesome. 10 days. And Yeke Koruba alone take 8 days, 8 or 9 days. Yeah, I think 8 days or 9 days. Yeke Koruba alone take almost 8 or 9 days. So at the end of the day now, we have only one day, which is today. Up to now, they haven't yet conclude with the meeting, the reason why they were called upon to do the work that they're supposed to do. Up to now, they haven't yet convened any session. Maybe that may they will do tonight, as usual. They're always working at night, especially when it comes to money matter. Maybe some serious issues. They're always working in there. They time we're sleeping. Maybe, that new style, now they're going to get vest. A new style. So, our lawmakers, our legislators, up to now, they haven't yet have their session here for the last day. All of the chambers are all empty. Yes, maybe they stay on their break. Maybe they're somewhere pushing their chest because the Liberian Wahara again. I hope that some of us one of these days will cool our chest, and see how bad, and enjoy experience on life. Yeah, for some kind of a short day. Take the entire day and experience some kind of life. See as to what's going to happen. So you notice that, what? So how the life looks sweet that the people want to kill themselves for. Because I am looking. But I have also the show, but Aliga, whether you have no time to waste, let me see how best to bring him on. He is here with us. I saw Aliu started that yesterday, able to be with us. The man into the humanitarian business. You have a lay foundation organization where you're trying to revamp, put things together. So because of that, Brother Ali was not able to be with us yesterday. But I hope and pray that today he will be in full swing, prepared to be with us. So Brother Ali, good evening, my dear brother. What's up? Everything, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Maybon, or good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. Glad to be here this afternoon. Ask Mama Liberian.
Wonderful. We are doing great, my brother. Are you sure? Apart from the wahala that's still ongoing politically, economically, our people, they are very, very struggling. Mm. And the energy that's supposed to help our people, especially the local businesses, is not really coming forth. So there are a series of complaints, series of cry, series of disappointments. Most of our businesses, our local businesses, if you go there now and then, you don't even see one or two customers just because of the heat, because of the darkness. People are not really stationed to most of the businesses. Sometimes people believe that let me just go on a beach instead of me to go and see somewhere. So I think economically, our people they are really worried, especially our local businesses. Even some of our other business partners, we'll call them the Fulani, the Lebanese, the Indians, also they go through the same thing. But at least for some of them, at least they have little, upper, someone would say they are, they're very big. So anything that happen will not really affect them just like that. But the local businesses, where we do here from hand to mouth, like our president, and Deacon once upon a time said that, they hand from the hand to mouth. So with the hand from hand to mouth people, we are struggling. Let me be frank and let me confess. So economically, my brother is seriously challenged. It's tough. That one. Along last, the 10 days that were given to the lawmakers or to the legislators to convince, to settle one or two things come to an end of today. And I think it's past 6 o'clock already. I don't know whether they start now, but the chambers they empty, both the lower house and the upper house. We haven't seen any of them yet in chambers, but maybe they are still fighting. Maybe they are still putting their gadgets or their manpower together in making sure that at least they they do the Liberian people work, because no matter how we put it, it is our job that they are doing. So to do our work, and someone said out of the 10 days, almost 8 to 9 days have been gone and were given to Honorable Yeke Koruba, one of the senator or one of the lawmaker. Honorable Amara Conan said that nearly 8 to 9 days gone, free of charge, were given to Yeke Koruba expulsions. And now they are now talking about the money matter, the supplementary budget. So we don't know yet. We don't even have any meaningful discussion on that. We haven't reached to any level as to how much going to go to the other sector, how much going to go to the other side, as to what kind of impact that's going to make. Well, Liberians, I think they haven't understand anything. So, but again, as usual, our country it is where it is, and we will continue to say these things. So yeah, so that one, um, the president out of the country in the U.S., I think he go there for a few days, and while he away, I think he will also interact with some, I think it says some African organization that are going to reward him. He had to give him some peace, war stuff, and so forth. But again, I hope and pray that our president will be able to discuss with the UN about the prevailing situation back home, especially with the land dispute between Liberia and other Guinea. So all eyes are on deck to hear from our president from that end as to what's going to happen. What are you going to write the UN or any other thing? Yeah. So and the land dispute, my brother, is going beyond control. There are series of claims and counterclaims about who own lands, who own acres of land. There are a lot of people coming out now owning, some of them owning capital bypass from Jallastan, other people owning from the corners around here to Cowfield Junction, and the Cowfield Large Junction or any of these junctions. So again, there are concerns been raised in the corridor, especially our people. They are mostly concerned about the land crisis. People are having their own disagreements. People are asking series of questions. People are asking series of questions as to how come under the regime people are claiming huge portions of land It's not just about just maybe the plot or maybe a horse sport or so forth, but it's not turning to acres, especially 40, 50, 300, 400 acres on land. So people are concerned about that. And frustrations are on the faces of our people when it comes to that. So, my brother, so far so good. These are some of the happening back home. As we go along, any other news, we're going to inform our people. But at long last, the 10 days of our lawmakers, or in fact, will be ending on today. So far, so good.
Thank you, Maybon. Welcome, Monk.
What's up, guys? Great being here. Today is what, Thursday, right? Yep, Thursday, 23rd of April. I'm good, ready to go. Share the show, please. I don't know, the number remain the same. We are not where we usually at by this time, 16 minutes past the hour. So share the show, folks. We got a lot of stuff to discuss today. I don't know if Steve will be here, but we got a lot of stuff to discuss today. Are you folks hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Go ahead, Mark. Yes. So
well, I wanted to get going, but I wanted for us to be. I want for the people, the audience, to be a little bit like give it like.
Oh yeah. But we have other issues to be talking about, Monk. We have the people do the sharing of the show, especially these social issues. I think I saw. I think I have one or two social issues. The other latest news, unconfirmed or alleged, that a man of God have shared a post from Cotton Tree, a reverend, or better say a pastor, believe or in fact beat on his girlfriend, according to unconfirmed report, or allegedly beat on his girlfriend in Cotton Tree, and that sparked of mixed reactions from the public as to the people that we all depend on that will have issues we have to run through, especially we who are married that we're supposed to be running to, and the one also in fact into boyfriend and girlfriend business. So this is very serious, Monk, and these are people that are making decisions for us. So I don't want us to partner with that maybe and see and get our own reaction while we do the sharing of the show. But what say you with that, Monk?
Well, I cannot speak to what led to that. I don't know what they have been going through from a family standpoint. Maybe that could just be a reaction and sometimes you want to get a story, at least just to, not the entire story, but at least just the foundation of the story itself as to what led to that. Because sometimes when you see men doing stuff like that, it means that something has been happening or they've been tolerating disrespect for a very long time. So you cannot judge just based on, I have no idea, matter of fact, concerning this story, except for the fact that you brought it up. So I don't know if I can speak to something like that. It's kind of a tough, I didn't even see the video anyway to even start drawing a conclusion, but that's what I can say.
All right, good. Yeah, so let's move back. I will agree with you on some, but do you also agree, Monk, that is that a shepherd, how we call them, right? A shepherd to be into boyfriend and girlfriend business. Let's just look at that maybe from the social aspect first, because if you go back to Timothy, I think it's 2 Timothy, right? Talk about if you wanting to be a bishop, a pastor, that's a very good portfolio. But then you should be someone of clean character. You know, sometimes these things all written into the Bible.
Yeah.
We pass by this thing and close our eyes. So what say you? Good.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's in the Bible. Well, that's it. I mean, you said it right. You want to be a man of God. You are a shepherd. You got your flock. We happen to be the members, whether it's an organization or the church. You want to be a leader. You got to be having a level of tolerance. You cannot be doing things that the regular people will keep doing. Then what separate you? What separate you from the people who you claim to be leading? You cannot be the one leading the pack, and then you don't have discipline. You don't have control of your temperament. You got temperamental issues. Then it becomes impossible. It's almost like you are undermining the very office that you serve. That's why the Bible gives certain conditions. That's why every time the modern or charismatic movement, everybody is being called by God. Like, that's a lie. We don't have a way to tell that God called you, but we can tell from your lifestyle. The Bible says, by the fruit we shall know them. Your lifestyle will tell you whether you are called or not, because people that are called, they carry some level of grace and discipline to be able to control themselves under any circumstances. Well, you into girlfriend and boyfriend, beating your wife in the public, and then you want to go and stand on the pulpit on Sunday to preach to other people. Come on, that's a waste of time. But like you said, if you read the Bible, you will know these things. That's how you. That's why the Bible says you should study to show yourself approved. You got to study the Bible to know. It's not that you want to know. The thing about studying and reading, it's not about you wanting to know everything. You are just putting yourself in the position that people cannot fool you easily. So you become your own watchman. You become your own protector. That's the reason you want to study. Because when you see the thing happening, you can say, you know what, that man of God is not real man of God. I don't want to be the one to judge, but I can tell from his lifestyle that this is not his calling. And that's how you can be able to tell the sheep from the wolf, just from their way of doing things. But anyway, I'll stop there.
Yeah, thank you, but Monk, thank you. But Aliu, sometimes this thing happen also from both religion though. So there's not unique to because I watched some kind of video not too long. I don't know what kind of modality was that in. Yeah, I saw an elderly man, but I think maybe see from all. Yeah, I didn't watch the video too, right?
Yeah.
Just so interesting. So this thing happening both in almost all of our lives. Maybe let me just say in a simpler form in our lives. Whether you Christian, you Muslim, this thing happen. So do you stand with more when you talk about, because in the Bible for us is specific, it's clear, it's a continuity. That if you want to be, that's why people getting these things wrong. Maybe myself who talking to me, I can say today, I desire to be pastor. I can be if I want to. That there are criteria there that will guide me through. Well, let me come back to you, my brother. What say you with this? With this kind of thing, some of these things happen both into almost all the religion. People beating people, and we go back to the same people for the verses, and sometimes their lifestyle even worse than our own.
Yeah, these are common things that happen everywhere. Like you were saying, for you to see like that story you talk about a pastor, why will a pastor do it with a girlfriend? Well, we know a pastor should be legally married. Then you are married and then you still having girlfriend, and then you're not going to marry this girlfriend because for the Christian you can marry two women. But maybe your imam will get a girlfriend which is forbidding, that when you say you are imam, if you see another woman in the mosque you want to marry, you have to go ahead and marry her. But you can make her to be girlfriend and then later you want to marry. Or that's even undermine your credibility as an imam. What moral lesson are you teaching the members in the mosque or in the church as a pastor? But this thing happen everywhere. It's not about Christian, it's not about Muslim. I have seen it so many times. There are some imam, when they finish preaching tomorrow Friday, and when they see people women, they start squeezing there in the corner and think this thing happen, which is not good. You see, this is why I can tell people, know God for yourself. Like Monk always say here, read. Don't just allow somebody to come stay and just be fooling you out there. They can't say something and then you just follow it. Go do research, read for yourself, and you will not be misled by anybody. But because some people, they fail to do research, they fail to read and other things, so you will just sit in the mosque, anything the imam say, Amen and yes sir. When you go to the church, the same thing happening. You see, when other people want to worship these people, when they see them, they feel that, oh yeah, those people, they are so clean, yes. But sometimes when you look in the back what they are doing, you will be like, when I was in Liberia, yes, there are certain imam I knew, you in the mosque, you conducting prayer that day, I even said stay in that mosque. Because I know what you are into. I know your dirty games. If I don't know, that's different. But I can know who you are, then I will be misleading myself. Once I know who you are. So this thing happened. Like that pastor, if this story is true now, people who believe in him, people who respected him, had a high regard for him, and he's caught in this kind of act, you know what you have done to your church? You have brought disgrace to the church. But again, it happened everywhere, not just in the mosque, in the church. And this is not
Great. You said something about knowing the truth, and you are quite correct, Brother Aliu. That's the fact. Sometimes these things, people don't easily follow these things that the Bible said, know the truth. Or if I say the truth, and the truth is certain. So you know very well that this man of God or this imam or this pastor, you need to certain habits. You know very well. And this thing is just normal. Most of the followers, what you may call them, these people who always need to read the choir stars, the members, the youth department, most of the people they know all of the funny things that most of their pastors are also into, but then they be pretending like it's just normal. They just see this thing like a normal, that normal life, so that they may enjoy himself, that they may do whatsoever thing that you want. And not knew that same man who the community looking up to, that same man, the entire leadership looking up, in fact, the entire country or the entire area that he resided looking up to. But the men now, they are telling you that, it's normal. No human being is perfect. Now they start to look more. Now we start to look for all kinds of ways to frame things. That no human being is perfect. You know very well that no human being is perfect. Why you choose to say that, in fact, that you want to be pastor? So you know that.
Yeah, we know no human being is perfect, but there are certain positions that you will hold. People expect perfection from you. People expect you to be sincere. People not expect you to see you in certain things. So if you know or you are not ready yet to maintain those characters, then don't hold that position. When it is given to you, say no. There are some people you can be in the church now, for example, maybe they will say, oh yeah, Mayborn, you've been in the church for a long time. We want you to serve in this position. You say, okay, yes. And you know the responsibility that comes with that position they are going to give you, and you know when you have that position or how you're supposed to conduct yourself, you say yes. If you know, you will say no. But other people will be like, oh yes, I will take it. And you take the position and you start to carry on things that does not align
dubious behavior
with that position, the way you're supposed to conduct yourself.
Dubious behavior. Sometimes we have behind somebody religious thing, that mean the deacon, that mean the this and that. Corrupt behavior. All of these things, even they gave you 100 bags of rice, say go and share. The first thing you taking 50. You say, the men that the pastor now, all the men, in fact, he's the imam for the church, for the mosque, or maybe he's the pastor for the church. These things are what get us today to where we are today. Because nobody wants.
What happened to chairman today?
Chairman also joined us. Nobody want to show little perfection, but Ali, this is serious. Nobody want to show little perfection. So you try to say, oh, my man, nobody perfect. You lead the people. Nobody perfect. The reason why our system damaged in this way is because of all of these things together. Nobody perfect. So that means you can't even find no good person among us. That's what we always say. See, our system today is schools. Schools. You start to teach the children about corruption. Charity tests, you want them to pay test fees. You want them to do all kinds of things. Now, what get us today to where we are today? How can we even develop the entire system? How can we even reform the entire system that already corrupt and is in this form and manner that people will take people's land in the name of developing it to make it with church? They take it, the people, you build church, you start to get money from out of the people's land, and the community benefit nothing. When you try to say, oh, mama, you lead the people. Mama, you go to the government. No. But again, we will come to the government because at the end of the day, it's because of the government. Because the government too much, the government too look at all these things and say, no, when we talk too much, tension will come to us, attention will come to us. So the best thing is let allow the people, let them be owning their own. And in fact, let them be doing all kinds of things that they want to do. What we're seeing today, we abuse the religion, we do all kinds of things. People use this thing to abuse other people. No homes is safe. All of these people today, you see today, especially from the church, go out there and check for the divorce cases. More before you people come on with politics. Go out there and check. Ask yourself about the divorce cases. 98% come from the church, the religion, in fact, from the Christian religion. So
and why? That's why I wanted to ask you. Why I say the divorce cases majority come from the churches? Why? What's going on?
Because the reason is just so simple. Because at the end of the day, the church was supposed to be the gate or the truth to the people. We want to make things look like, you know, let's go cool, that lie to one another. The church, the pastor, they, you know, they won't have the thing that you know physically. That's supposed to be done. Then the pastor will teach you your prayer about it, you know, and there's nothing that God can answer you gotta do. No. So, Brother Aliu,
No, you didn't answer that question right.
Mark, answer the question, please.
You didn't answer that question right. The reason you have a lot of divorces happen in the church, because the church is no longer interested in creating decent people. They want to impose marriage on people under the disguise that they don't want you living in sin. But they fail to realize if somebody is not disciplined enough to be fit for marriage, they will still keep fornicating even in marriage. So your job is to make the person or to help them become better people so that they are prepared for marriage. You don't want to impose marriage on them as a requirement with the expectation that when they are married, they won't sin or they won't commit fornication. That's why you have a lot of divorces happening, because everybody just want the title and the ring and the gown and the big party, but they are not even ready to be wives. And when you enter into the home, that's when the marriage starts. When real life situation or circumstances hit the family, then people crumble under pressure because they were never prepared to be married anyway. That's where the problem is coming from. Maybe, so let me help you with that question.
And more like you said, it happened in most cases. Sometimes there are some churches that are new back home. The moment you enter that church and they know you are single, in less than a year, they will be like, oh, you had to get married, this and that. So they force people into marriages and that they are not prepared for. And that's what led to most of those divorce cases that are going on, because you just enter a church today, they tell you, oh, in the church, you know, you had to get married, you know, you had to give your life to God, you had to do the right thing and stop sinning. We get some brothers here, some sisters here. Just like that.
And Ali, just call inside of the video you share with me. I want for Melbourne to play that video.
Yeah,
that little
I was thinking about something more.
You know.
Oh, Chairman, welcome.
The chairman had him, man. Let Chairman show your face.
No, the chairman can come on video today for security reasons.
Okay.
We consider you.
Yeah, my background is too strategic, so I can't come on for security reasons.
Yeah, go ahead, Chairman. So gonna video that more attack me here.
But folks, it's good to be on. I know nobody don't want to recognize me because they're in a social conversation that the chairman will push a little further into. And we'll do your best, some of y'all. But anyway, let's share the show. It's good to be back. It's very, very good to be back. Good to be back. I think Melbourne will play that video. As always, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know about other people. I think this is one of the best things that ever happened to Liberia, that Liberian women are really beautiful, to be very honest.
Yes, they are.
Let's take all together aside. They are. We give them that credit, even though some of them come with small hair problems, some of them come with drama, and they come with noise, you know, but they're very, you know, they're the most beautiful women on earth. And the Liberian people, you know, they're very important, to be very honest. They are. You know, if you really look at it for true, we leave our busy schedules and other things. So even come sit here for 2 hours weekly, it shows that Liberian people are important, you know, but they don't see it like that sometimes, but they are. So, yeah, Melbourne, you know, I saw that video, Monk shared that video, and I think he tagged me in it. And let me say this, first of all, to our Christians, brothers and sisters. When you're not married, you'll go heaven. If you marry, you'll go heaven. You're going to heaven because that's the one you're worried about, and they play your thing about. So you live all your life on earth, only trying to prepare yourself to go heaven. My friend, marriage does not qualify you for heaven or disqualify you. I hope you're hearing it today. Being married or single does not qualify you to go to heaven or stop you from going to heaven. That is if you go to heaven now. For those of you who believe you go to heaven, so you're living all your life here, you can't even get a place to live because you're securing. You know, no, Melbourne. I never see anywhere where they bring wise people before. Can you imagine they tell you all that they're preparing mansion for all you heaven? But you're still living in your apartment? Are you ready? So, you have to be strategically positioned to be falling for local thing. And since I realized it too, this is the most important time of my life where I feel free and not brainwashed.
This is why when I see people who are brainwashed, I can be too sorry for them. Yeah, when I see supporters of Joseph Boaga calling dog, they passing around looking for a way to intellectualize and to compare it to compare to Churchill's statement that he made. But don't worry, we'll talk about it. Some people will not know English, they don't want to know English, they don't want to speak good English. We'll break it down so they
can answer your question. They are Liberian women are the most beautiful women. Is that a pep talk or is scientifically proving or like just your own way or completely?
No, it's scientifically proving. Let me get it. Because
so you take it so many ways. You take according to genetic lottery, right? It could be your behavior, it could be your physical appearance.
So beautiful in which sense?
But I want to
get chairman the chance.
You can ask your own question. Then you want to answer your question. Then how we going now? Well, Liberian women are the most beautiful women in lots of different ways, in different capacities. Let me give you a couple of examples. If anyone you on a show doubt that Liberian women are beautiful, then that means you're trying to say your man ugly.
No.
Then slow down.
Don't
man,
tell us we're different level.
Let's see now.
Don't be like Digo Bakai. Don't be so emotional.
Look, if there's somebody coming on the show or woman coming on the show and saying all Liberian men are dogs, that means you're talking to your part too. So I'm saying, if you don't believe that Liberian women are beautiful, that means you say you're man ugly. And you can't say you're man ugly, that would talk to him also. You can say a part ugly.
I'm not agreeing with that.
But wait now, let me see now. My man, you want to see the
man want to pull a chairman, the
man
want
wait
now. No, give
me land. No, I know you're in your feelings. You're emotionally right now. You're too emotional on me. But you're waiting. Let me feel now. Secondly, I want you to show me when you've been living. I want you to show me the woman from another country that got physical, natural. I'm saying the BB, you're funny thing. Physical, natural, God-given curves. There any other Liberian woman. I want you to show it to me.
Well, the reason
wait. Mom, I've been around. Relax. I've been around. I've been in different countries. Liberian women, the physical structure.
Okay.
God, He shed the time to make them like that. Oh, God. They are special. I'll be honest with you. They will tussle. I'll be very, very honest with you. But not only that. You know, Liberian women naturally, when you look at their face, I don't care how struggling they can be, you see 100% beauty inside. So I'm saying to you guys, with all of these different components, I'm not saying some of them are not get small hair problem. I'm not saying some of them are not let noise or drama, they might not feel tattoo. That one part we can always discuss it. But the one thing I will not take from the Liberian women is they are the most beautiful women on earth. The most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. And to all of you guys who are on the show, because of that, this is why many of you guys are looking good. Remember you saying now while they're laughing, you know like your man. And what the prophet said the other day. The prophet said, you know like your man. So remember you know for a
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that's okay. We agree. I'm not going to
you see, don't get a position of more.
Because for all indication, they measure want to put us against.
My man.
Right? With the women, right? I'm not going there. I was going say that's it.
My man. You see why we get a position of more? Because I lose it over there. He even answer to it.
They are the best. Let me tell you this, Steve, I join you, Chairman. They are the best. When it comes to anything you think about, they are the best.
The problem,
your beautiful daughter that you can be advertising whole day. That kind of woman get you up. That kind of woman going out there for you. No. Let me be careful. You gotta be careful in Liberian women here. What's wrong with you?
The problem, if the way our mother then used to conduct themselves when it comes to their character and all that things, if our women today they were conducting themselves in our form and manner, it was going to make that beauty to be modern. But today they are, the way they do things, that small.
Are you mentally looking for trouble? So you leave the topic alone. You know it's beyond enemy land. Just agree with Chairman and move on.
More. You know why we get an assessing position to them, man? Because we know that he will be looking for where the wind was in the town. No, we're set together. Mama, I tell you already.
They are the best. What?
Before we proceed, let me just make a quick announcement to the listening audience or our woman, Yata Stella Harris. I don't know, she's been going through some health challenges this year. I think she's recovering now. But I just want for the listening audience here, if you know her or number, you can give her a call or you can keep her in your thought and prayers. She's still recovering. Last time I saw her going to an appointment, she was in a wheelchair and I commented, I said, oh, we were announcing on the show that you haven't been feeling okay. But I think she recovering. I think she's better now. It said that maybe she's not 100%, but she's been going through some health challenges recently. So you can keep her, like I said, in your thought and prayer. If you know her personally, you can call her and just
gentlemen, give me 1 second. Let me fit the thing in my background. You know, the chairman will be right back. But let's keep the spirit. You know, let's stay in solidarity with the women. You know, and look in the mirror when you go home, my man. Look, you know. So, Masari, I see you very happy and excited about that. Don't put any if on the beauty of the Liberian.
Yeah, Chairman.
All right, thank you, Chairman. So that played the video, Mark. Actually, this video is unique, and I don't know, but this video is also educative, and I hope and pray that most of our sisters, our mothers, they will take the video. Some of you, if you don't follow this, maybe this guy or maybe the video, you can check for this video.
Yeah, I shared that video yesterday. It was very
Everyone pays the price. Let's tell the truth, modern culture avoids. When a father disappears, it is never just the woman who suffers. The children suffer, the home suffers, the streets suffer, and eventually society suffers. Because when a father leaves, the bill gets sent to everyone. Let's break it down. 1, the children lose their first model of order. A father is often a child's first experience of discipline, structure, boundaries, protection. When he leaves, the home loses order, and children raised without structure often spend adulthood searching for what should have shaped them in childhood. 2, the mother bears a weight she was never meant to carry alone. She may be strong, but strength does not erase strain. Now she must provide, nurture, discipline, protect, all at once. And many women collapse under the pressure of trying to be both mother and father. 3, sons grow up without direction. A boy without a father often learns manhood from the streets, the internet, broken men, or no one at all. And when boys are not taught discipline by fathers, life teaches it through pain, sometimes prison, sometimes poverty, sometimes failure. 4, daughters learn to crave what left them. When a father leaves, many daughters spend years asking one silent question. Why wasn't I enough for him to stay? And that wound follows them into dating, into marriage, into motherhood, because abandonment in childhood often becomes insecurity in adulthood. 5, society inherits the damage. Fatherlessness does not stay inside the home. It spills outward into crime, into addiction, into broken relationships, into generational dysfunction. A father leaving one house can damage an entire neighborhood. 6, men who leave rarely escape the cost. Some men think walking away is freedom. It isn't. Years later, many live with regret, distance from their children, broken legacy, and the pain of watching strangers raise their bloodline, because absence has consequences even for the one who leaves. Final word. When a father leaves, everyone pays. The mother pays with pressure, the son pays with confusion, the daughter pays with wounds, society pays with dysfunction. That is why fatherhood matters. Not because men are perfect, but because presence matters more than perfection. So if you are a father, stay, lead, fight for your children. Because when fathers disappear, the cost is never private, it becomes generational.
That's true. Wonderful. I don't know what we can talk about this good on tomorrow because of time, but maybe if you want to chip in quickly, then we can give you 1 minute, because the lawmakers issue is getting interesting that as of now, I think we'll have about 14 or 16 more minutes to 7 o'clock, and they are yet to begin with their session, their last day sitting. So I think it's very, very concerning. But anyway, among and we can go ahead quickly with that issue. Is very interesting. I really
Concerning,
like that entire piece, but
oh
there's no
yeah,
time.
I shared that video for a reason, because it's something we've been saying here when it comes to the family structure. That's why any political institution that does not go with the traditional family structure, no matter what kind of policy you got, will not support you, because technically you are trying to destroy the society and the country. Because we talk about legacy. Who established legacy? Man, that's why your boys carry your name. Even when you are dead, that name continues from generation to generation, is in your lineage. And when the father is absent, like he said, everybody pays the bill, from the woman to the child himself to the community and the entire society at large. Because guess what? It's father that can create a discipline when it comes to structure. A boy is going to learn from the dad. That's why any home that is missing a father, more than likely that trend is going to continue, because there is no structure. That's why he said abandonment leads to insecurity. The child grows up and he does not know where to start from. That's why most of them end up in prison. They end up with drugs. They're looking for people to lead them, because the sense of belonging is something that's very present to the human being. It's almost like you're a boy, you don't have a father, and then you go to school and you see your classmate, your mom and pop popping in out of the campus. He's confused. Like, what happened to me? And at the end of the day, he wants to fill that gap. And in filling that gap, that's where the family structure breaks down. And he said it right, man. We got to appreciate both mother and father. It's always good to have the two parents. I know in some instances it does not work, but at the end of the day, most especially for the men, those runaway soldiers that called and said that you need to be involved with your child. You got to be in their life. Even if you're not there physically, you got to take that role and find time. No matter your daily schedule or your job responsibility, you still have to make that time. So it was just something he was trying to espouse on, but we have been talking about that on this platform for a very, very long time. So I decided to share that video. Ali?
Yeah, that's the fact. Most women today, like Chairman was just saying just now, not too long, so time, or some of our sisters who are somehow what you might call it, when they make it, oh, men are dogs, this and that, forgetting to know it is men and women that brought you to this world, and you were men. So not because of one man you will just or categorize everybody like that. When the father leave the home, like we know in this country we are today, most of the single parents, them, most of those children, 75% of them today, the way in which they are is because of what? The single parent, when there is no man in the home. Like my cousin, when he was trying to discipline his children, the wife will always be in the front. Oh, don't do this. These are my children, this and that. You know the way the women behave, like they bear now more pain, so they always soft on the children. Whenever he want to discipline the children, she will always stand there. At the end of the day, he was in the home now. He was like, I can't be in this house. Whenever I want to discipline my children, my wife don't give me the chance. And he started being frustrated, and he died of frustration and depression, because the way his children were looking, whenever he want to exercise, his wife will step in. Now he's dead and gone. Those children, they are in the street of Philadelphia, are taking in drugs. You see how men are important in the home. So it is a work that both partners have to do when you're together. You try to take care of the children. When one person is absent, it's a blow right down there. Most especially we the men, the children, when you say your pa coming, they will not shake as compared to your man coming. So it is a teamwork.
No, he said it in reverse.
Because
I'm going to mind say, yeah, let the road. Let me clear the road. Then we put our hand the same. We open the road. When they say I'm going to tell your dad, you won't allow that to happen. You want to talk to the president so they can go and tell your dad.
Yeah,
exactly. So let me just add up to that, Mom. The reason why I said, in fact, that I said that this video is interesting, and the entire discussion should be maybe one of our social talk, because it's indeed interesting. But Mom, there's no life without men. There's no life without women. So that means, like the both of you said, the two people, they are important and they are unique. The role the man play in the home is very, very important. Most of our women, they just think that the role the man play in the home is just about maybe in bed. No, the role the man play in the home is far just from bed. If it's only for bed business, then no man want to even keep woman. Man will just be passing around and be having all the kind of thing. No.
Absolutely.
Yes, but most
Yes.
women, they don't know. They just think that because maybe the man around and that means it's just all about bed. No. Monk, you will not even notice that, for example, if the man in a womb, monk, there are so many things that the lady in the womb that, or that woman will not do because the man is there. But another woman who is single, she will be looking for somebody to go and pull her window curtain up. Like, for example, I'm just saying, some of you today are listening. To go pull window curtain up, the woman will be looking for someone to go and pull, maybe someone see nail or something to pull something up. She'll go look for somebody to go do. They have series of little work that lady will be looking for. That lady who is single, she'll be looking for people to go and be happy. But the woman who have men, that man will be able to cover all of these things. Even security, when things happen, the first person they ask for in the home is the man. Where her husband? Where the man? They want to know the man. That's why men are important. That's why most of our sisters today, some of them that know the importance of men, Mark, they cry in their very homes. They cry. More women cry because they want men. But again, some of them, when they have the men, they abuse the men. They think that the men in their life just for maybe sexual pleasure or just all about fun. No. But the men play a major role. There are so many children.
Welcome to the perspective. I don't know if you listen to the video, but that's a very deep video. When you think about it, it says a lot. But Mr. Dishia, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Monk. Thank you, Alio and Mebon, and the listening public. I say hi from Europe capital, Belgium. Well, I heard what was on the tip, Monk, and I hear your debate, but I got a different prospect of this whole thing. During our era compared to your era at this moment. During our time, if you want a girl, the first thing you have to write a letter. If your penmanship is not good, that means she's not even going to answer you. That is very first step. The second step is that the parents have to know who that boy is. The first thing, what school he going to, that going boy or not, who his parents, all of that will be asked. Thirdly, you have to come and introduce that boy to your parent at a time when you know that they are happy. Because if they are not on the good side, you know they're not even going to entertain coming into the fence. So these criteria are quite different from what is happening now. Mm-hmm. What is happening now is a complete distortion of what relationship should be. Right now, people after the war, people looking for survival. So love is based on survival now compared to what we had before real love. You know, the acceptance of your family and that person's family and that union will go on for quite a while. Right now, find somebody married and they're having serious problems. Yes, we have problems during our era, but before that problem come to light, it was still so long because it will be a lot of under talk between the parents consulting each other how they're going to solve that problem. So the era is completely different, Mom.
Yeah,
and that tip there that you put out, I don't know which era it served right. Yeah, I think it served this era right because they had lose a sense of identity and the responsibility of being somebody responsible as a father or a grandfather or somebody that will take the children to the future. Thank you.
Memo, you know why I laugh? I told you about generational change and generational shift. That's why I love what we need to talk before we can talk. Mr. Dishia, they changed the whole narrative by introducing the letter because that was their turn. You know, your penmanship, you gotta be smart in school. No more to follow so dumb do. The letter, and that letter they had a template. The reason I said there was a template to that letter because you remember myself who here? I said it point that letter thing continued to the 80s and 90s.
Yes, we did it.
Because I know the content of that letter. It says, "Dear Marie, please, it is with great pleasure to introduce a few words of mine."
You got it, Mom.
Yeah, so first of all, Mom,
The letter I read the letter of the government. I read that letter.
you gotta start. We're gonna greet you. You gotta start with that greeting. I greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior.
And she will also share it with her friends, so that penmanship gotta be good.
Have to be good.
Yeah, you gotta be having your good penmanship in that letter, that first opening sentence, to introduce a few words of mine, to express your interest, my brother. That was the original template. I cannot say everything about Mr. Tishu. Like you said, he just changed the topic.
And there'll be a lot of observations, though, and there'll be a lot of observation between the both of you. Like Mr. Tishu said, you're right. There'll be a lot of observation between the two of you, how your parents treating you, how you people behaving in the home, how respectful you are. So no matter what, you don't want to follow any kind of person, but none of them, my brother. Anybody can follow anybody, it's just about contract.
It is with great pleasure and honor to express a few words of mine that you open your letter already.
Yeah, Chairman, welcome again.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, guys. I might be in and out here, but I'm following the conversation. We like to say the truth, the blood, the truth is. The video Monk played, Melbourne played, or Monk shared on his page. Every generation comes with something different. Every generation, and from generations to generations, we learn to adapt, adjust, and so forth. So the things that maybe in Mr. Tishu's time, when he was much younger, the things that were done or acceptable might not be the same as our time. In our times, women feel more entitled. They feel like, they got rights, they got all the rights. They feel like they should be pampered, they should be taken care of, A man's life should be surrounding, making them happy. But the truth about it also is there is no such woman I have seen that can be happy or satisfied. That's not true. Even if you are okay yourself, they will still find a reason to complain. I'll give you a typical example. If you stay in a house too much, they say you're too boring. If you're not like drinking, they say you're boring and you're not like having fun and you're not like this, you're not like that. So at the end of the day, many of you are here, I praise the Liberian women, how beautiful they are. But at the same time, these are some of the problems that we're faced with. And yes, back in the days, writing letter and they get taking it to her friend and she's showing it to her friend, everybody happy. And sometimes some of the, some poor spelling, the subject verb agreement, not adding all of that. The women didn't really care. They care just about that part where you either draw the love sign. We used to take time to draw the love thing and, love sign. Sometimes you draw teddy bear, you draw the small apple, big apple, Remember, we're talking about days then when we used to chase women. You understand? So those are the strategies and things that we used to do. I don't know if Monk ever knew about drawing the small apple, pea apple, before you go ahead, my kind of teddy bear, then in the center. You know what I'm saying? So
my man, all that thing that you're talking, so Chairman, by that time, our women by them, they used to put food in a bucket, when they're going for water. Look, my man, our forefathers, they very experienced.
So we draw the days in that era, right? But things have changed now. This time in our generation, guess what? When you say hello to a woman, they want for you to carry them to go eat. They say they're hungry.
My man, that money. Anything you do, better than money.
When you say hello to them, you got to carry them for dinner, or they had not done, or they got to pay the rent, or they got to pay their phone bill. Most of them are not looking for a relationship. They're looking for father. They're looking for a place where you feed them. They're looking for somebody who will take care of them. So it's
a huge, men are dying before their time.
It's a huge problem.
The pressure, the stress, and everything.
And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, don't waste your time. Don't. Me, I always tell all the men. Let me just be honest with you, my brothers. Don't waste your time. You are not able to please a woman. That thing what they call make woman happy. That lie does not exist. It's not in reality. You will be making woman happy. She will go to your funeral. Your boyfriend there to the funeral. In fact, before you even die, they finish identifying the person who will be your replacement. So don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. Don't ever kill yourself. These people cannot be pleased. There's no such place where they can kind of say, oh, they certify for good, and that's it. That's not true. That is not true. My only advice for you is this. They cross your red line, you keep it moving, you lead them, move on. At the end of the day, they don't want to feed it, and not you. They misbehave, lead them, and walk away. I'm saying it.
We have a minute up to 7. And at 7, maybe we may bring up the news.
Bringing news. They tell you the leadership order and all that social issue.
But as it stands, the both chambers stay empty. So we'll be giving updates as we go along with the broadcast here this evening. The both chamber, mind you, today is the last sitting of the 10 days that were given, or in fact, I requested for by the president, my own Deacon Wakai, that the lawmakers should come for additional 10 days. So yeah, so Steve, I don't know whether people are going to hold on or we should continue with the time. But we
can be sharing ideas at least or see what they use it on, because we got a lot to discuss. You know, I wanted to ask you, Steve, why like brother remain poor? Steve, I asked you the question. Why brother will remain poor? You have any mindset? Because for me,
one of you have to show up now, Mr. Dishu. Now one of you have to show your face, because you can't make the entire show blank. That would be bad.
I agree with you. Probably next week, but well, if he's sitting very strategic at what Steve said.
Yeah, why didn't finish showing your face? Maybe more will show your face too.
What kind of condition Melbourne can be setting, brother? On my screen here.
You know, Steve, there are certain things in Liberia that are considered legal robbery. And this is the legal robbery that we have to be discussing, because I believe that the Liberian people think that these things are correct. But there are a lot of things that they do and they hide behind the Constitution. You know, like what Tewa Gongo once said, and he warned a country that suffered from 3 legal robberies: a form of theft that do not need a mask or a gun. They hide behind the Constitution, behind our financial laws, and behind corporate and concession agreement. They are legal on paper, but devastating in practice. These are the legal robbery that when you see those people caught in section, all of that, the people stealing from us, they're stealing from Liberian people. Spending money to bring people back in for 10 days when they could have waited for the real time. We were only 1 week after now. These are the legal robberies that are going on. So that's why I said that when I'm talking about Liberia anymore, I will be talking that Liberia is a failed state. And these are some of the things that constitute a failed state. The broken structure, the laws are being disregarded, and a whole lot that constitute a failed state. Until we start to talk about the legal robbery, what every time the people bring in documents and all of that, it's a serious problem. Look, we have created a new office. We had the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Now they got something else that they brought in, Nimale, who is the head. What we're constituting all these new things for, and we don't have money to support these things. That's why they went and they decided to print in new money to subsidize the different things. And who's going to pay? Our grandchildren going to pay. We're going to pay. So they're going to be suffering forever in that country. That's why I said, like, bro, will remain poor, because the amount of debt that we have. Yeah, I want to hear your view.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were asking me the questions, or you were asking me the question, or you were responding to the question that you were asking. So that's what I was confused about. Mr. Tishu, can you repeat the question, please?
As I gave the question about it was the premise I was just laying out. Why would Liberia remain?
Can you repeat the question, please? Because I think I've. Is he there? Is Mr. Tishu there? Okay. Well, maybe are you with us, or you with the news?
He was asking a question why Liberia remain poor. I think something like that. That's what he was trying to say. And he was talking about the legislature instead of them coming back. Yeah, Mr. Tishu, hearing you now.
Okay, I said the question to the panel is, why will Liberia remain poor? And I was putting the premise saying that unless we confront the legal robbery in our laws, Liberia will remain poor. Then I gave an instance where Trevor Gonglo said the 3 types of legal robbery they have under the Constitution, they have under the financial laws, and they have under the corporate and concession agreement that they gave out to the people. That how they hide behind these things, and these things are legal in the public eyes.
All right.
So I want to hear from you what you're going to say about that.
Yeah, Melbourne, are you still with us, or we going to the news bulletin?
Yes. The only thing is that we're not active on the radio for now because of the news. But I'm live on the camera with you people because I don't want to go off while you guys stay on.
Okay, thank you, Melbourne. Thank you. Yeah, Monk, Mr. Dishu asked a question. I think that's a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that question?
Yeah, he talks something about legal robbery, and we see it every day. The reason I can make my prediction or my projection on Liberia's future because nothing happened out of the ordinary. You got to plan now. You got to make decisions now that will impact the future. Everything you do now, the futures can be impacted by the present. If you're not doing the thing at the present moment, the future won't be better. So you can make prediction that how people make investment. Every time you watch in the Western world, when they pass in a bill or law, they always talk about the future generation, about they take the decision now so that it can impact the future. In the case of Liberia, it's the opposite. We want to expand the position for lawmakers to take more resources from the people. We just saw something I've been discussing for almost a week here from the front page Africa, that the war in Iran is having an adverse action economically. Most of the market women, the people that are suffering the most, they are complaining. And there was even a warning from the richest man in Africa about the potential impact in Africa. And here is a president who called for a 10-day special session, use extra resources only to concentrate on one lawmaker. The 2 most important things, supplementary budget and the printing of additional 79 billion, was never high on the agenda. And Amara Conan said that. He openly wrote on Facebook about that. So it tells you, if you are not making the move now that will put you in a better position for the future, then you can literally tell how the future is going to look like. So we will remain poor for a very long time because every country, I know, to take people from poverty and put them into middle class or to earn income, I'm talking about decent wages, sometimes it takes decades. It's not an easy thing to take a country from an impoverished state to a middle income country. So if we are not making the moves right now, let's get it for the past 20 years that will set Liberia up for the future, then I can guarantee you and put my money on the fact that I will not see a better Liberia in my lifetime based on my age, because I know it will take a very long time and we are not even beginning the process to get Liberia on the right trajectory. So that will be my response to that. Then it means the future of the country is bleak.
Yeah, Masale, what's on you?
Yes, these are some of the reasons why we remain poor. Like Mr. Dishu was trying to lay the premise up on the same thing. Today, lawmakers supposed to resume session May 8th. Wakai brought them back for a special session, and that is millions of dollars that have been spent. And the special session they came back for today, they talk about security matter, printing of money. I think the printing of money was most important to be discussed because you had to check while ready the urgency of printing this money while it's going on to hear from the bank governor, the finance minister, all of these things. But instead, they were focusing on removing of Yeke Koluba, because for Yeke Koluba to removing, people had to put their signature on paper and you had to pay them. So that's why they were focusing on millions of dollars were used. The same thing, the removing of the speaker, the same thing was done. Today, Waka will take people from their position. When they go to LAC or Wakana CC, they investigate them. They say, no, you had to reinstate them. Instead of putting them back to their position, he rather pay them millions of dollars. So if we continue to do this kind of thing, where are we going as a nation? The money you take it to pay these people, you know what I could do for the economic, the health sector, the agriculture sector, the security sector, the educational sector. If we continue to do this, we will remain poor forever. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Let me answer that question by saying, you know, Winston Churchill from England, he was the prime minister, and maybe I stand to be corrected for someone who don't know history and who can read and write too well. Winston Churchill was the prime minister from England. He wrote something I thought was very interesting. He wrote a couple of things that today people can use, you know, just the same way people can quote Martin Luther King or whatever it is. One of the things he wrote was about the whole dog thing. You know, that when you're on a journey and dog barking at you and you stop, you throw a stone at the dog and you might not go to your journey or whatever it is. And it's supposed to be, you know, wanting to achieve a goal and distraction or whatever it is. But I will talk about that when we get on the radio, because I've not had the opportunity to talk about that in public on the radio. Well, I'll talk about it, why you can't compare it to what Joseph Boakai said, because they're two different things. But Winston Churchill, too, fortunately, also wrote something that's very important. He said, if you don't know your history, then basically you're not going anywhere. Winston Churchill said that. And I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not quoting directly, but that's exactly what those are the words that he said. Those who can remember history, you know, they're not going anywhere. The reason I'm saying this is because, you know, poverty in itself does not just come like that. You can't just get poor. There's certain things you got to do to get poor or for the country to be poor or so forth. And one of the things that keeping Labrador poor, let me just be honest with you, is not just corruption. That's not true. Let me tell you today, corruption not keeping Labrador poor. Let me say it again. Corruption is not keeping Labrador poor, because corruption is all over the world. Corruption is in all governments. Let me tell you that one today. Corruption not keeping Labrador poor. No. If anybody tell you that only corruption keeping Labrador poor, then they're not saying it. They're not saying the right thing. There are other factors that are keeping Labrador poor. So one of that factor is, first of all, we don't remember history. We keep repeating the same historical error. Let me give you an example. All of you listening, we don't remember history. This is the problem. In 1998, there was a senator called S. Bedell Fine. S. Bedell Fine.
Yeah, I knew Bedell Fine.
Bedell Fine got removed. Let me tell you the reason why he got removed. They cited Bedell citation for hearing in the case of illegal and unauthorized bringing of armed men into the sacred building of the Liberian Senate. Listen, and the violent breaking into the office of the chairman of the Senate Standing Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and Maritime. Most recently, then we have a couple of lawmakers from the other side, from Richard Kuhn and Sa. Then we have them breaking into offices of other lawmakers, carry armed men into breaking the office of other lawmakers. We had it when they want to remove Fanatikofa. And that happened. Anybody can remember the name of the representative, that the lawmaker that went and brought people to break into people's place? Then we see Richard Kuhn also brought policemen to break into Yega Koluwaka. Then we see it. Was anything done to them? Did they do anything to them? No, they didn't.
Peter, second quickly, I just wanted to make this announcement. I will back after the news break. So you can go ahead.
So I'm saying this.
So Moses, so you're talking about accountability.
I'm saying that's the very first thing that keeps you up poor.
Yeah, accountability. Okay.
We don't hold people accountable. For example, Joseph Boakai makes a reckless statement. You support him, so you find a reason to make an excuse for it. But let me give other people a chance to speak. I will come back, because I have to address that Joseph Boakai statement that he made. I have to address it to the Liberian people that Joseph Boakai, when I'm saying the same thing that Winston Churchill said, I have to address it. So, no boys, back to you.
Yes, that's good. And let me say thanks to Mr. Dishu for asking. But I think I will just following all of you, your own points when it comes to this question. Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of a society that we live in, Mr. Dishu. We have the legalized corruption, and that have been the order of the day. People think that they make 10,000 per month. You have someone director sitting somewhere making 15,000 per month because you feel that it's by law. Yes, it is the same law that put other people into poverty. It is the same law that made other people to be making 125, to be making 150. So then what kind of law, if you go back to Article 1 of our Constitution, that the citizen should be there, should make laws, or their authority should make law for their happiness. And if they're not happy, then the same citizen go back to the authority and tell them that we're not happy with the other thing that you people doing. We want you to change this thing, or maybe the other one, or the other thing. But instead, they are still saying no. They do things the way they want to do it. They are even talking about adding additional 16 lawmakers. So yes, the people who give them the power, Mr. Tissue, they use the power against us. In fact, they abuse us with the power that we give to them. So for me, from all indication, yes, it's a legalized corruption, Liberia. We are swimming into higher poverty. If you listen to the Pope doing his Africa tour, he talk about these things, that African students keep moving from one place to another place, going Europe, going China, going to the country for scholarship. He said that stay in your country and make sure that your system is better. So I think that there where now, most of us now, we got to join soup. Those of you who are there, even no matter what kind of school you think you're in, let all of other join soup so that the system or the school system can be better. Thank you, Mr. Tissue. I think I just want to chip in on that question that you asked. Any other thing, but Aliu and Mon, then we'll move on to Yeke Kodoba situation. The final day today, March the 10th of the extra sitting that was called for by our president.
You know, one thing I keep saying, that's where I disagree with the Pope, and I want you to stay with the gospel instead of the social and the political and economic issue, because you want to stay where you are. It's just part of human nature. People will move to where they are greener pasture. They will move to places where they believe that their life will be better. Migration is as old as human being. Even when you read biblical story, the children of Israel during the time of famine, they went to Egypt to look for food, because at the time Egypt was the booming empire in the world. They had economic prosperity and activities going on there. The reason I tell people, I say the industrialized war is only for poor countries, because when you come to the industrialized war, you don't see people from other rich countries coming here. You don't go to a job, you see someone from Japan or South Korea here. I don't see too many Irish people here, because when your country is doing better, you are more likely to stay. But when you see there is nothing going on and you prosper for the future, doesn't look bright, then you're going to find somewhere else to go and make a better living, a better life. And that's just why it is. So I will stop there for now. And like I said again, if we cannot make the decisions and make the future investment, I can 100% success and failure are predictable. Because if you cannot do what you need to do in the present, then more than likely you can project what the future will look like. And that's why I keep happening to Liberia. And one thing, before I turn it over to you guys, Amara Conan said in that post that he made, he said, there's what he said. He said, removing Yekakolu, he said, the legislature special section called for President Parker concluded today. Important issue, printing banknote and supplementary budget got overshadowed by Yekakoluba debate, leading to question about whether those were the real concern, or if we focus on the removal of Yekakoluba, then for his border remark. Now that he's gone, does that resolve the border crisis with Guinea? And has the Guinean military gone back to their barracks? The question is for the patriots who believe that they are more patriotic than fellow citizens who disagree with them. And you say, oh, I forgot. And the CDC government did the same thing too. And they went after political enemy. Hey, bro, if your political enemy were choosing for you by your party bosses and the government in the name of party money, are you really fighting your own war? And that's what he meant. And the same old thing, we don't have a standard in Liberia in the current dispensation. Unity Party and CDC are total failure. They are total, I don't know what kind of adjective to use. So if we keep measuring our progress between these two parties, and what I'm going to say, CDC did it. Unity Party must do it. Are you telling me this is why Unity Party came to power? To use CDC as a template or a benchmark to measure progress? And then when CDC come back to power again, and then when you Unity Party, are you saying this is what we keep doing into the foreseeable future? Then more than likely the future is done. So, Mr. Tissue, I tell you what, I want to make that point.
You made some certain point, Mom, but I just wanted to take off from what Steve left off at. The Constitution, it was written with a lot of power in it, but we have weak accountability. The statutory financial law you know what, the PPF and all the management, the people have a procedure that they benefit themselves and nobody gets to know. Sometimes the president don't even get to know until secret come out. You know, constructions and companies, the engine of silent extraction from our industry. All of these things here will make us poor. Just imagine for centuries, for about a century, the people have been taking iron ore, rubber, timber, gold out of our country. And look at Liberia today. This pattern continues. Concession agreement, all these negotiated thing behind closed doors is still happening. These are some of the things I said that will always remain poor because these are the things that are supposed to enrich the lives of our people. The concession agreement is so bad, all because I live in the Western world and I am among the gold and diamond people here, and I see the kind of agreements that these people have. We don't have the ability to keep our resources and put a trademark on it for ourselves. Everybody talking about us. The Ghanaians, that a lot of gold used to leave the country. They had turned their money to, they had made gold to back up their currency. It's the same thing that I heard the Liberian, the man in charge of the National Bank, you are trying to explain that to the Senate. But what he was saying, he made it so complicated that when they're about to negotiate, is that complication that they're going to use to steal from us again. I don't know why we cannot.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
1 minute.
Yeah,
like just what we are saying. See, recently what happened, they road construction project called back before waiting, wherein the president took millions of dollars giving it to a Australian company, leaving Liberian company that could do this work. See, today the level of infrastructure development are going on in Ghana, 85 to 90% are Ghanaian companies that carry on this work. That alone will bring a job creation. It will reduce the poverty rate, the hardship in the country. You see, but
we gave $480 million deal to a Australian contractor. What is this?
Of his you see?
Well,
so
that's it. That's the kind of a country, that's the kind of a society, Mr. Tissue, where we put our people into agile poverty. We made them spectator. Let me be frank. This all of these things are all glaring due to bad leadership. So there where now we are heading to because of bad leadership. That's why these things keep happening. I don't know, the month said, I don't know who's going to change these things. What kind of maybe government that will come to power and see the country and say, okay, I will give Liberia back to Liberians. For me, I haven't seen that kind of president. All the president will come. At the end of the day, Liberians will be spectators. Even the motorcyclists who will always be there to guard them through. When it comes to a campaign, when they come to power, the first group of people in power that they can start targeting. So this year, just glaring that we abuse the power, we do everything. But I think AB is here quickly. That bring on, they'll move to the 10 days sitting quickly that we're getting a series of reports that up to now, our lawmakers, they are yet to go into session. We don't know yet as to what going on. But AB, what's up? How everything?
Great. How you doing, Mavon? Let me say good afternoon to all the guys, man. Mong, my dear brother, Dishu, and then Steve. I see the chairman is on today, but it's in between, and then of course I leave. You know, I heard my brother talk about whether Liberia is a failed state. Actually, Liberia is not a failed state yet because there are criteria that definitely indicates, a country be a failed state. One is the loss of physical control. 2, the breakdown of public services. 3, the violence and chaos. 4, economic collapse. And 5, illegitimacy. We are not.
How are we having those? Please, I just broke in. Sorry, but I want you to answer those. You know, you don't see the protests. You don't see the different things that are happening. I will give you my criteria. So go on, Mr. AB. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, you are at liberty to point out those things, but I mean, trust me, I know the chaos that the country is faced with right now, but the things that really come, the cardinal things that lead to a country being a failed state. Yes, Liberia is fragile. Might lead to such a situation, but for now, as we speak of today, it's not a failed state yet. But the leadership is setting the pace for those kind of chaos. So I just wanted to point those things out, like you talk about the economic strangulations, and then of course, white people, massive corruption, like what you're doing right now. Just imagine looking at Liberia, taking contract, road construction, and giving it to Sierra Leone. I mean, this is mind-boggling. Sierra Leone? Are you kidding me? What is it that they are doing, Sierra Leone, and Liberian company are not capable of doing? But again, I just wanted to point that out that indeed we are not at that point yet. But with the trajectory, there's a likelihood that those things will happen. But the major thing that's responsible for a failed state as well, I just wanted to point that out as how chronologically they are listed, And then when it comes to, I know maybe is going to transition to that particular point of the 10-day transition. So I would not want to take all of the time, but I just wanted to add my voice to the issue about the failed state. Yes, we are leaving in that direction, but for now, as of today, we are not there yet. But indeed, Liberia is fragile.
But we are almost there.
Yeah.
We are not there.
I don't know. Let me chime you a little bit with the issue of the failed state, because we have been declared a failed state from 2003. It was one of the reasons that they came up with the idea of a supervised administration or trusteeship in Ghana back then to the Accra Accord, because the argument from the West was that Liberia is a failed state. I think we have met every condition of a failed state: lack of territorial integrity, broken institution, corruption, internal conflict. We have exceeded the condition for a failed state. I mean, we are in a pretty level, yes, state, but in the situation where you can't even get the three branches of government to respect the very fundamental of the land or the foundation of the land in terms of the constitution, then I don't know what can you say. For me, I believe we have been a failed state a very, very long time ago. We are pretending like we have a functioning state. I don't think we are a functioning state.
Monk, you are right in that direction, but the problem I stated there, trust me, I know the frustration. We are in the same direction, but let's still reference the case of Bideh Fan. Bideh Fan was a member of the MPP, a stalwart for that matter, and honor a leader that people classify a bit despotic. Honor Mr. Taylor, Bideh Fan was yesterday removed from the House of the Senate, and then the MPP never intervene in that direction to say, oh, this is one of our own, and we're going to protect him. He violated. He went there forcefully. He used like what the current speaker you got right now. He's physical in that place, busting into people's car, and today you have a government so at that time, when the peace accord came about, they put a lot of mechanisms in place to get up from that failed state structure wherein they managed to give a debt waiver, they managed to give her all of the incentives so that at least we can be on the precipice of good governance. Now it's been kind of gradually reversed by this current government. That's the point I was driving home. But trust me, I understand where you're coming from, Mom. You're right. At that time, there was a declaration on this kind of thing that in the Liberia was a failed state because we met all the benchmarks for those things. But again, there were leaders that were standing by the rules somehow, one way, trying to put a structure in place, but it's completely in the reverse right now. You have a president
but Abby, here's the thing. Yeah. Technically, if we were declared a failed state and they resuscitated us to put on a red track, and another president came and tried to put us back on track only to find ourselves in the reverse, then technically what you are saying, we are going back to where we were dating back to 2003. Sure. Because everything that you said is broken down, no respect for the rule of law, people being taken out of tenure position, the economy. Yeah, then we are worse off than that. So I don't know. But anyway, let me stop.
I mean, you could be right. You guys could be right on that in that direction, guys could be right in that direction, because definitely there where we are moving again, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, so we don't really have that time anymore, but we're already
we're complete tomorrow. We're extended to tomorrow.
Yeah,
but more quickly, maybe in past.
Yeah, because I really wanted to share with AB, The weakness and existence of the rule of law is a failed state. Rampant corruption is a failed state. The laws of sovereignty, what we have in Guinea right now, there's a small sign of it. It's a failed state. Economic decay is a failed state. Social division and instability. It also, these are the problems that we're having right now, AB. So your own definition, I agree with it, you know, but what is affecting the people right now is what constitutes a failed state to me. What the people going through now.
Yeah, but brother, we'll expand on it tomorrow. You know, we can delve into it.
Where their power has been used
Yeah.
against them, you know, and back to back. Yeah, we now with the land situation, the citizens, they don't even know that way out. They don't even know tomorrow morning what's going to happen. Who's going to be affected by the land situation? Maybe who's going to be next and so forth. But let us chip in with the final day because we don't want the final day to pass with us not really chipping on it quickly. But I think please let's manage our time. At long last, the day already come to an end, and we yet to see our lawmakers in the chambers. We don't know yet as to maybe they will do that maybe tonight, because mind you, they did that during the $1.2 billion budget. They signed the budget, or in fact, the budget was passed in the night, and also I think the ASIDA mutual concession agreement also was also passed in the night. So maybe tonight, maybe they want to pass the other supplementary budget and maybe other few things. Maybe that's why they are still delaying our time. But Mark, Mr. Tishu, but are you?
Oh, you're saying something. Go ahead. I thought you were stopping, but go ahead.
Yes. No, I was just concluding now. I wanted to know from you people quickly, please, manage the time, because also Senator Amara Kwan knew everything that the 10 days, huge portion of the 10 days were wasted beyond the Boyaka Kaluba, and that of no use. At the end of the day, all the major issues that should have been discussed, there was no time given to the issues. Where are we people going to benefit anything from the 10 days or from any kind of agreements that will be signed? I think let's just manage the time, please.
Yeah, maybe again. Let me just come in on the thing real quick. One of the useless behavior that was exhibited or that this 10-day gave Liberia was this issue about expanding the legislative seat to I think 16 or whatever it is. People are forgetting his story. This guy here, this Kuhn, Richard Kuhn, is trying to find a district that he can contest on because he cannot win come district 11 again come the next election. That's what. Let me tell you the history. You see where you got River G today, because Nathaniel Williams at the time was senator for Grand Gita County during the Taylor time. And then when they were talking about, he found out that at the time that he needed a weak weak county to contest on because he still wanted to maintain that seat. He pushed hard until those today you got River G. And eventually he became like a senator for 2 counties, Nathaniel Williams. This guy here, they are looking for weaker district to go to come 2029 elections to contest on it. That's why they are pushing this nonsense about expanding districts. That's the history. So was the case with this Bapolu County. Bapolu County at the time was part of Lufa County. When you have the election during Mr. Taylor time, and then eventually people like Ahmad Jala that became senator in those kind of weak counties. That's all. It's all about their accommodation. It's not the interest about the people. I just want to point that out. So that was a waste of time, and then they tried to push that to expand the electoral base, come legislatively for the United Party guys, and that's what they're doing. So people are forgetting. They want to push that line, and the history is there already. I just want to point that out. But Monkey can come in.
Yeah, Mark, but Ali, if you quickly, we got to go, Mr. Tishu.
Yep. I just want to close on the point before we go to the line. Maybe I love it when we are vindicated on SKTV. I love to be ahead. I like to make projection based on prevailing circumstances. I told you guys the reason for that emergency session was for Yeke Koluba, purposely. And from the 10 days, the reason they never focus on the most important issue because that's just typical of politicians. They want to ramp it off your throat so we don't get detail. You cannot question that decision. Because Dillon was the first person that raised that objection saying, we're going to talk about printing of new banknotes. We're not even having an open debate about the matter to see well, because it was designed that way. They just want to get, that's what I said on the show, they are trying to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. So the supplementary budget and the printing of the new banknote, no, they kept it. They focus on Yeke Koluba to absorb the time. Then at the end, at the 11th hour, they can just ramp it through and get everything they want. Look, this is a criminal cartel that how they operate. The most important thing, they never spend the 10 days, arguing about that, because that way the public will be informed. They just want to print more money. The people in the executive will get their share. The lawmakers will be bribed. They will steal when it comes to the printing, the cost of printing, to hire someone who will do the printing of the new banknote. All these things, that's why it was designed for. So at the end of the day, they focus on the Yeke situation, and in order to then, you left with less than 24 hours, and guess what we are? No discussion, no input, no public reaction for the 2 most important things on the agenda. So it tells you everything. And we said it from day one. That's why it was intended for. It was designed that way.
Unity Party, master of distraction. Master of distraction. They know that 46 million were going to cause problem. We have not seen anything. They never completed. The 10 days have come to an end, and they never completed the money business. 1 or 2 senators were interviewed. I was listening to the media this morning. They were asked whether what they accomplished. And only Yeke thing was accomplished, So that means to say the money business was secondary because they wanted the distraction of Yeke case, not to overpower the questionnaires that are going to be asked on why should that money be paid, or why should they print this money. So we'll discuss it more tomorrow.
For me, this special session, I know it was only called for the removal of Yeke Koluba, nothing else. Like I said, printing of money, that's something. Before you print money, there are a lot of things that had to be done. And even the 10 days that were given, it was really short. But this government don't have no priority in moving this country forward, but just to take the country backward, like what we were just talking about, failed state. And this is the trajectory which we are on now, of a failed state. We were there, they took us from there, and Bwaka is putting us back. Because the removing of Yeke Koluba, those lawmakers were basically coming for session and things, because why? They were getting money for that. You see, even though they're getting money for the special setting when they're discussing the money, the supplementary budget, but it will not be as compared to putting a signature down to be paid to remove Yeke. So that is it. And no matter what it is, at the end of the day, maybe tomorrow we'll just hear that the lawmaker pass it and that one finish. That's all. That's like us.
Yes. So
what's the chairman?
So earlier, Mr. Dishu asked a question about why we think Liberia remains poor or is not moving forward. Winston Churchill said,
I think you should close the show. I don't want to, because we're already 20 minutes. So why not skip it, and at the end you can get your closing, can just be that your answer.
No, I'm about to answer this question and then tie it in with the question you guys are on.
Oh, but then we'll not take calls today.
Winston Churchill said,
we still got 25 minutes, man, so we can take calls.
Winston Churchill said, a nation that forgets its past has no future. And everything we're talking here today was basically done in the CDC. It might have been done to different individuals at different times. But before the CDC, it was done also. This is a problem that we have, a reoccurring problem. Yeah. That's why we're anyway. We're like we're in a revolving door or cycle. That the same thing people criticize, so they want to come out and do the same things. Now, I just want to make this clarity on that statement Joseph Bwaka made, and I'll turn it back over to Milburn. Let me say this. To those of you who are passing around trying to defend the statement, the first thing you need to do is, there's 2 parts of that statement. Joseph Bwaka, first of all, single out a certain group of Liberians, especially those in the diaspora.
The diaspora, yep.
And created division that we are not living there.
Yes.
But he has himself in America, on his way to America today. How all the people that will go see him, they are dogs. That's what he was saying. Is that what he was saying? All the people that will see him when he come to America, are they dogs?
They're not here. They're not here. So they are dogs.
Let me tell you why the statement Joseph Boakai made, you cannot compare it to what Winston Churchill said. Winston Churchill was very clear. And this is what Winston Churchill said. You will never reach your destination if you start to throw stones at every dog that barks. The reason this statement cannot be compared to Joseph Boakai's statement is because, first of all, under Joseph Boakai, we have no head, no tail where the government is going. 1 minute that arrest agenda, another minute that ACT, another minute that PW, another minute that some kind of thing. So we have no straightforward where we are going under this administration. I want anybody to come and tell me that arrest agenda, which one of them? Yeah, no, this is serious. Y'all can't tell us which one of them we're working on now. In Joseph Boakai, almost 10 years now. Which one are we working on now?
Or so, which one have you accomplished?
Exactly. So this is to tell you that this statement from Joseph Boakai cannot be compared to Winston Churchill. But let's even look at it further, because it's important for us to bring this, that Joseph Boakai is rude, he is disrespectful, and he is uncouth. And for those of you who will come on this show, that will call and tell me, say, oh, you can't tell an old man he's rude. I can tell an old man that he is rude. I can tell an old woman that she is rude when they behave rude. I can do that. There is no law that prevents anybody from doing that.
Well, old man can call people dog.
That thing where you're in Liberian, where you can say, oh, that's our tradition. I've told everybody, we never elected a traditionalist. We're not looking for, they're not Tanchi we elected. We're not society we elected, that president. And the what Joseph Boakai so do it in the constitution, and not in society, and not in culture. The day I won't be part of any culture or to respect any tradition, I will go and join that culture, and the Tanchi or the person who in charge of that culture, then I can look at it that way. But Joseph Boakai is a president. If Joseph Boakai, you see, this is the problem we have. And that's why I started a conversation with the first statement Winston Churchill made, that any nation who forget about the past got no future. That is the same thing we used to do with door and talk about them. When they do wrong, we don't want to say the thing what you say was wrong. When somebody is president, you can't tell the president the thing what they do. That's why when Solomon George, then when they were living, they were making not behind job. I said them, I go shut them off. I don't listen to those kind of people. Because all were alive. You're supposed to say it and be on record.
Sure.
I mean, the Liberian people, let's stand up and be on record. The thing we can kind of say on the show here, not because we got personal problem with Joseph Boakai. No. Some of us used to say the same thing during job we had time, because we don't want to keep repeating the same mistakes. And this is where we are today. Joseph Boakai insulted the Liberian people. That was very rude of him. That was uncouth of him. That was disrespectful of him. And overall, it shows that Joseph Boakai is not a God that can appreciate people. It's a wrong thing to do. Telling Joseph Boakai he wrong does not mean that you're disrespecting him. Telling him that he's rude and he behaved rudely does not mean that you're disrespecting him. You are telling him the truth. And we should learn to tell our leader the truth when they misbehave. Joseph Boakai is misbehaving. At his age, he should not be misbehaving. He should not be cursing people. We didn't do anything to him. If anything, we were in the diaspora. We support that economy over there. You know how many money we can send back home? You know how we work in this country for our money? We can send it to sustain and make sure that we got our economy going. And when they read to talk, they just talk, to say they're talking to people who not contributing to anything over there. That because we don't live in the country, so we don't live in the country, we don't have family there, we don't have interest there. People got in the ring here to support you. People collected their money to send it to Joseph Boakai to make sure that he is elected. You know what I mean? For people to the $50 so to say for the children there, retirement, they take it and send it to you. You know what that means? You know what I mean for somebody to get $50 from America? Do you know how we can work for our money on this side? So, I mean, I just want to say this so that You can be clear on that certain things we shouldn't joke around with.
But still, the eagle are flying from America to Liberia every time for the man. The eagle are flying from here to Liberia
So
every time.
Rude and disrespectful. He needs to stop the rudeness. He needs to stop acting rude and be presidential. He needs to stop being disrespectful and be presidential. He needs to stop.
And to that, and to that, Steve, because maybe we may not even go to the line, but to that, Steve, you are quite correct. There are so many of these things keep happening, and sometimes because of people feel that maybe it's their political party, maybe it is their leader, it is their candidate, or it is their person, so they don't see anything wrong with it until when it reach to that doorstep. That's the kind of content that we're living today. Everybody think that now see them crying today from this or land dispute. Now they want others to come out to talk. And the PUR president today have a press conference where he talk about the issue of freedom of speech. That this government is seriously attacking freedom, seriously going against people. That when you talk, activists, the media, when people come here to talk, you will hear other people cursing, you will hear other people saying a lot of things. So you people don't want us to come to talk? So you're using parables. So I was asking most of my friends, can we not use the parable now into our religious area? Send the parable are necessary. Send the parables are good. Then someone will come here and tell neighbor, so what happened with the parable, for example, patient don't eat. Look, my brother and my sister, those of you out there, patient don't eat the fat. These are perfect parables. People use the parable just to give certain people to tell them that even though you live your poverty life, we just want to give you a little encouragement. And there are certain situations that you said, Steve, before other people come on. There are certain gaming situations that people will say certain things. There are certain times you don't say certain things. There are statements that were made by them in Rwanda. We always say this thing to our people. That people say by them doing the Houthi and Tutsi war. They were looking at certain group of people and calling them cockroaches. We're sitting here, we say we're speaking in parable. And the monster yesterday, my deacon was specific. They found the man break everything down. He took it step by step. Don't mind these people. They don't live here. Oh, so then you call that one parable after you finish saying all the kind of thing. So that means if you were just maybe targeting certain people, and that's what's wrong. But up to now, none of our religious people come out to say, oh yeah, maybe the other parable was not good. To them, it's just okay because they are the one that in power. You know, I see our religious people here like in Iran, that the supreme leader on Assad. Sorry though, maybe Brother AB and those of you maybe who have your view on the international war. But I see the same behavior of the supreme leader on Assad and the same behavior we're in here. But we make it look like a democracy. It's lie. It's lie. Because if it was so, then by this time we're going to be having a tough talking, maybe a religious group of people that are going to be talking on things that are affecting our people. The vice president went to Grand Cayman. He was acting like he's so sorry for. How far would that go? In fact, how far would that? How far? All of the crying, acting like your father, he was sharing tears here and there. How far? Nothing. I will come back here and say, oh yeah, when we talk, I say, you people not like the government. Yeah, you know, up to now. You have two major issues. The supplementary budget, and you have other maybe national issue like the district and all these kind of things that people will be discussing about. Printing on new money. We already spent 25 million United States dollars to print 48 billion Liberian dollars. Now we're coming with 79 billion Liberian dollars. For what reason? Well, again, go ahead, man. The
people preparing the 2029 election money, and nobody is as ungrateful as Joseph Newman Boakai. Because they see diaspora Liberian, he said they shouldn't listen to today when you could bear them a food to pay your pool washers. They were all on Spoon Network, raising money. At that time, you couldn't tell them, say, no, They are not part of us. They don't live here. You shouldn't take money from them for us to pay pool washer. You open your teeth. You were sitting there laughing. They collected money for you to pay your pool washers. Today you say they are not part of us. See how divisive this old man is. When you say Joseph Bakai, he's divisive. The people say, oh, don't say it. Well, you will always come and prove all right. You see, that time you were to stop them. Say those people, they are not part of us, but you are good at using people and dashing them. That's who you are.
Maybe so what you do, we just forget the calls today and you take calls early tomorrow so we can cover all the
we Friday tomorrow we'll just take more calls tomorrow.
More calls, yeah. I think that's what we'll do.
So
one of our problem is systematic.
Go ahead, Mr. Tishu, because I wanted to.
Yeah, one of the main problem, what we're still suffering and will remain poor, is the systematic weaknesses and the cumulative failure that we set as precedent for tomorrow. Like these cases are happening now, and the government are winning the bad cases. It set the precedents for tomorrow cases. When we have a different government, there will be a lot of argument. And who suffer? The Liberian people are caught in the crossfire because they don't know better. They have been left alone. And this is a serious problem. Serious problem we're going to have. Because if the Constitution cannot protect the people and the law govern the people, then I think that the failed state is still being head of what I'm saying. So until tomorrow, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tishu. Even up to now, Mark, the asset recovery team, Central 24 up to date.
Nothing. Yeah. Where you at with that? The other thing was us scared. We told you, brother. We told you from day one. We told you what was going to happen before even the election. Everything is just like running down the clock. Everything is in the middle. The average leader, based on what we experienced over the past 20 years, they came with one intention: come, bamboozle the people and steal as quickly and as much as possible and walk out, because they believe the country is not going anywhere and they're not going to impact the movement of the country. So everything you see in terms of project here or there, it's just to create an impression or the illusion that they are doing something. But at the end of the day, they know they won't take the country anywhere, because it says here, you here make money out of me, president tomorrow, you can pay one lay comment on here, one lay row here, just to make it look like you are doing something. But in terms of moving our nation, in terms of policy, no, that's not what they're interested in. Your son, if you get some like the robbers are leaving, they come, they get rich, they are into every deal making. They can influence the politics, the behind the scenes, signing concession, getting stake in companies. At the end of the day, they are well off for life, and the rest of the people keep suffering to eternity. That's where we are. And every single one of them in the past 20 years, they exactly that. Same template, same old thing.
Why are we printing 79 billion? The previous government, they say, if they change money, These are discussions that we should even carry to the market women out there. Yeah. That's a week, that's a month, that's even if it costs for a year. But we say no.
When we print that money in 2021, maybe the total volume at the time was only 46 billion. You are talking about 79 billion. That's almost 2 times the capacity.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you look at the central bank governor statement, I mean the guy who represented them, he said, oh, the depreciation only happened at 7%. I said, but if it happened at 7%, then it's not an emergency.
Of course.
We're talking about our economic crisis going on globally that impacting everyday people. Who in a rare frame of mind talk about printing money at this age? I mean, at this particular current moment in time, especially depreciation at 7%. Then we are far from an emergency. So the question is, why do you want to print 2 times the volume of money that we printed 5 years ago? Tell us. But they don't want to discuss that. That's why they want to ramp it up at the 11th hour when they focus on your but that's why I said from day one. And that's why you see
but Monk, the thing about that's a minuscule of you talking about mutilation, depreciation. That's a minuscule portion of it. It has no emergency. Look on how many times things happening in Liberia, everything on the social media right now. How many times have you go in the market and you see marketers complaining about mutilated money? You don't have mutilated money on the market.
No.
Very, 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 very minute portion of it. In 2 years, so are you telling us here that every 2-3 years you're going to be printing this kind of huge amount of money? They're not even looking at the economic. They're not even looking at the economic disadvantage of the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, if you got a lot of local money, like I said at one time, Zimbabwe has similar situation where people are throwing back of money all around it in the place. Because while they printed a lot of money at the time, Mugabe had all these economic issues, and then they flooded the market with the Zimbabwean dollar, and they started chasing the low US dollar. They're so high, huge inflation in that place. That people told maybe you couldn't use wallet in Zimbabwe. So this is the problem.
A lot of people increasing the denomination by 2,000. They know how useless and worthless the money is going to be.
Eventually, it's going to be like, and you know, and this is the problem. And there's no debate about it.
2,000 note or bill or what you may call.
Remember, if you have economists, I told you this thing here. This central bank today, when it got changed to central bank, it was headed by an economist, Eli Silve. Even during the wartime, they brought economists in. Today, you have two accountants, one to finance, another one to central bank. You get the economic gravity, they can't explain it to you. But they're telling you they're going to give you $79 billion Liberian dollars on the market for what? What's the urgency here?
We were sorry, President.
That's it. We getting report from Page Africa is also reporting that members of the Liberian Senate have been locked behind closed doors for nearly 10 hours due to unresolved issues. Let the country come and burn, or the country come and run away, or something come and happen. You keep our people indoors for more than 10 hours for unresolved issues. Everybody having their own disagreement. Nobody want to agree. Oh no, the other money here, we don't know where it's coming from. How come we also for the passage of the 45 million supplementary budget? What kind of country are we running today?
I want to say it's an 11-hour bill. That's why they wait till late in the evening. People are not paying attention. We come to run into the weekend. Before Monday, they will find a solution and they take their bag and walk away while the average person suffers. That's why they are doing it that way.
All of the things these guys are doing, it has a political undertone. All is about the interest of how to maintain power and how to control power. That's all. It's not about the interest of the people. Because all of the urgency, all of the things that need urgency, you're not paying attention to any of them. Absolutely. Look at you talking about people giving people 16 additional CDA for what?
Yep.
The way you got it, 73, you got it, you're giving problem for the country like this. You're abiding on the country. Then you're talking about saying, I mean, add 16 more there.
Yeah.
People will be clapping for that. What's the economic impact for that, for the people? Come on, man.
Well, so that's it. People got to go your asset recovery team, or what you may call it, same March 2024 up to now. They haven't recovered any, even pencil. They haven't recovered pencil for government, but they're into the budget. The asset recovery team. Same March.
They got to exhaust that budget. They got to.
Same March 2024. Asset recovery team into the budget.
You're not getting a budget for
the only time that they can have press conference, except maybe they want to talk about Finambono, or what kind of system you say you want to work? What kind of unserious group of people we are? I tell you, another month we gotta go, and then I'll quickly, maybe 30 seconds each, so that we can go home for the day and come back here tomorrow.
Mr. Dishi?
I think my brother left for the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
I said we'll continue tomorrow. Hopefully,
we'll continue tomorrow. Maybe I want you to please send me your WhatsApp thing on the messenger, so I will send you one or two of my write-outs.
No problem, my brother.
Okay.
No problem.
I think okay. I don't know, Ali. You got something to say? You can close it out in the next 2 minutes, or maybe if you want to circle again, that's it for me. I think I'm done for the day.
No, I'm done already, man. Among all the things we need to touch here, I think we touch a little bit. We'll get into that tomorrow.
Tomorrow, my question remains. What happens if to the president if Yega Koluba is vindicated? Nobody answered that question yet.
They will not answer you, Mom. The only thing they'll get you get insult. That's all. They will insult you.
That become the fight of the president.
Tomorrow we'll be looking at. I think one of the lawmakers who mentioned that anything the Supreme Court say, maybe they will agree. But this lawmaker yesterday, when the Supreme Court even told them about actual power, what kind of power, they were all here yesterday defending. So I don't even
understand. This is the thing. These lawmakers, they're forgetting. They will be the very one when they go to election and there's a problem in their district and they run to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court gave them some kind of thing that they want. Then they'll start crying all around the place. Why can't you respect the judicial branch of the country, my people? Talking about all the people got their own rules, they got to go by their own rules. Your rule is subject to the Constitution. That's the organic law of the nation.
Yeah. Your rule is within the framework. Got to meet the standard of the Constitution. They forget that.
Well, that's it, my people. The other year, maybe you will go free. We don't know yet. Maybe something will happen.
How all the years will be? Why you go about the other year?
It's a wasted year. Look at the Rafi.
I have to talk about said you're going to be about all year. We need to tell you.
Look at the Rafi
road. How all the years going to be?
Look at the Rafi road. The people came. They said they were investigating that place. From my understanding, I think they say they're just trying to resume work again.
They were doing delay started because they were wondering for it to be maybe in their
no money. They diverted the money to something different. Maybe. Then they said investigating. What they find out of the investigation now? But you resume work.
No.
Guys, man, you have a pleasant evening, man.
Yeah, man. See you everybody tomorrow by God's grace, man. Tomorrow we'll be together tomorrow. And we have so many things to talk about tomorrow by God's grace. More. Good night from our end. We catch you guys on tomorrow.
Take care, people.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The welcome and life we have here.
A lyrical
Master.
Cleverly, so I can't ask Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And he's no money, and I go. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
And I Guinea ya tumale, and I Salia ya tumale, and I Conakry ya tumale, and I Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, and I Guinea ya tumale, and I Salia ya tumale, and I Conakry ya tumale, and I Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, and I Pagayarina ya tumale. That's the biggie. And I Pagayarina. Toss you up on my ya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise from best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.